Hey guys, me Dave. It's 3/13/2021. So I thought I'd do a little video Saturday night. Sitting here having a couple drinks as usual on the weekend. Helps me relax. Relaxes my brain. That's what we need when we're getting remote neural manipulation. Slow that brain down a little bit. So anyway, I was watching some videos, and it's amazing because you got a lot of I don't know, doctors, scientists, whoever out there. They think they're discovering something new. They think they're discovering something new, hooking brains up together and solving a problem. With animals. So here you got animals, monkeys. Hooking their brains up together. And they're able to solve a problem that they couldn't do on their own, and all this stuff. They think this stuff's new. These scientists and these doctors, they think this stuff's new. This stuff's been around for 50 years, It's not new. It's unreal, Whatever, we are, 50, 60 years ahead of, the government is 50, 60 years ahead of the technology that is out there today. They could put someone in, like a MRI type machine. It's like an open face scanner type machine, and they can read the thought. Oh, he's thinking of a hammer, so a picture of a hammer shows up. We're reading his thoughts. It's been around for 50 years. They've been able to read your thoughts for 50 years. Remote neural monitoring. It's unreal. These guys think they're doing a breakthrough in this stuff. Well, the government is letting some of this stuff come out. They're letting some of it come out. And these doctors act like, oh my God, I'm the best doctor in the world because we made this machine that can read your thoughts. Guess what? It's been around for 50 years. It's unreal. And other people were talking about V2K and all this stuff. You got the Chatterbox, you got the Chatterbot, and all that stuff. When I was getting hit super hard, a lot of mine was live, believe it or not. I could tell they were talking to me. They were answering my questions live. They would do 2 shifts, 12 hours each, and it'd be a team of people, 3 or 4 people, on a 12-hour shift, and then they would work 6 to 6 or 7 to 7, and then the next crew would come on, and they would torture me horribly. I was getting head gripping. They could almost make my head go like that. That's how strong the magnetic pole was on my head. Okay, another thing they were doing too, the magnetic pole. Okay, now I don't know if this is a ground weapon or not, but the magnetic pole. I had a bed, a metal mattress, and it was on a metal frame. Okay, swear to God, the magnetic pole was so strong they could move my bed back and forth, and make it vibrate. They could make my coil wire mattress vibrate like it was a vibrator, like a body massager. It was unreal. But they were live a lot of times. They would be like, do something whatever that they didn't agree with, and we're gonna come outside and pound on your house. Do something so we can come out there and pound on your house, they would say. That's not AI. I had a lot of live action, live action from these guys during the part that when I was getting hit super hard. These guys were live. They enjoyed torturing the hell out of me. I'm telling you, they enjoyed torturing the hell out of me. And then you got the agencies that are like, go get help. Go to your doctor's appointment and get on medication, which would discredit me. So this will stop, and it'll get better. And I was like, screw that. I'm gonna fight these guys, fight them. And I fought them for 7.5 months, and they took me down with pain. I don't know if it was sonic or what. They hit my temple so hard, it was so painful, I almost dropped to my knees, and I had to call for help. And then I went to the psych ward and all that stuff. But a lot of these guys were live when I was doing it, or when I was getting hit super hard. I know some people are like, oh, it's a supercomputer that's all AI and all this stuff. I don't necessarily believe it's all AI. I think there's different levels of torture they can do manually. I know there is, because if I'm getting hit super hard and I call for help, it stops. You know? Just like when they gave me a heart attack, they hit me the first time on Saturday night, and they hit me a little bit. And on V2K, I didn't get V2K anymore, but on V2K, sometimes they say something, and they're like, "Don't do anything, don't panic, don't do anything." And then Sunday, I took Buddy for a walk, and I came back, and they hit me with a heart attack. I could barely breathe. I mean, it felt like somebody was sitting on my chest. And I went to the hospital and all that stuff. Had 2 stents put in. You know, it's just, the whole thing is unreal, what they have done to me and done to other people. But, I do think they can control some of this stuff manually. I know we're getting hit with supercomputer, obviously, but I think they can do it at different levels of pain, different levels of remote neural monitoring, manually. I really believe that. I don't think it's all AI. It's like when you get V2K, these guys were live a lot of times. They were answering my questions, and we're having a conversation back and forth. It wasn't a computer, We're having conversations, It was live, A lot of it was. When they started to go into the skits, I had a different skit for each day of the week, and that was the chatterbox. They had one main guy talking, sometimes girls, and another guy sometimes talk, but there was one guy talking all the time. He was the main harasser, the main torturer, is what they wanted me to believe. I think a lot of that was AI. Because the guy was talking 24/7, so, obviously it was chatterbox and all that stuff. But I do think they can do a lot of this stuff manually. I really do. I think AI, I believe AI is doing the thought-triggered attacks. Maybe doing forced speech. It could be on a looping pattern, where they'll put thoughts into your people think it's their inner voice. I could tell it's not my inner voice. It's them. It's them saying it. I don't walk into a bank and say I'm gonna rob the bank and all. They're putting that in my thoughts. And they'll do that sometimes. I'll have to almost grab my face, and because they can almost mouth what they're. For speech, they can almost mouth out of my mouth what they're saying. It's unreal. They can almost take over what you're saying, and stuff. So, I just thought I would bring all this stuff up because, there's a lot of information out there. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't agree with. I think they can do a lot of stuff manually. But I do think, like, the thought-triggered attacks are AI. I think them injecting thoughts and almost doing forced speech, I think that's AI. They'll do repetitive thoughts, put thoughts in your head. I guess those will be thought-triggered attacks. I got out of the house I went to the store. I took Tanner with me. I went to the store, went to the park, and I went to Walgreens to pick up prescriptions. And then we went for a little ride. I used my relative's car, and okay, so I was seeing they had pretty women out. I don't know if it was them, but there were pretty women out walking around. It was nice out today, and they were putting, injecting thought trigger attacks of, a girl wearing tight jeans, all the time until I got home, and then I laid down for an hour, and they were still doing it. That I think is AI, and stuff. But it's hard to explain. I can tell, I think, that it's AI, and it's not, and stuff. It's and then you get subliminals, and you get like the silent V2K. I guess that would be subliminals, almost. There's so many things they can do. It's really unreal, and it's complicated to explain. There's no way you could explain this to someone, and they would be like, "Yeah, I totally believe you and understand what, huh? You have schizophrenia, buddy." That's what they would say. So anyway, I just thought I would ramble about that a little bit because I was watching some videos and all this stuff, and I can relate because I go through it. But I do think in my program, I think they're live. I think they have 2 to 3 brains hooked up to you, and they're doing stuff, and they're heterodyning you and all this stuff. I remember being 25 years old with my girlfriend, and they would make my whole body shake. They'd go like this. My whole body would go like this. And she's like, "Are you okay?" Well, I didn't know it was them. That was them heterodyning me, doing that to me. That was 20 years ago. 22 years ago. They've been able to do this stuff a long time, you guys. A long time they've been able to do this stuff. This ain't new technology for the government. They've been able to do this stuff a long time ago. So anyway, I just thought I'd do a little video and all that stuff. I'll probably cut this off, and I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you later.